Welcome back to my channel. I'm Kat and this is Katadactyl, and today I'm doing my October and November wrap up. So yes, I'm way behind. I know, and we're moving along. So I have 4 books to talk to you about. Yes, just only 4, because that time was a crazy time. Moved from Japan to Australia, a whole bunch of stuff went down at work, and here we are now. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right on into it. So, the first book that I want to talk about is Crudo by Olivia Laing. The main character's impending marriage is kind of aligning with the slow dissolution of politics in America and the election. It's raved about by a lot of especially British booktubers on here, that it's so clever, and it references a lot of Kathy Acker's work, who the author takes a lot of her work and puts it into the book. So I think that if you are that audience, or if you have read Kathy Acker or know of her or like her, then maybe this book is horribly clever. And I honestly think it just went completely over my head, and I really did not like this book. She's very privileged, and she makes a lot of comparisons to people that are less well off around her that I found just really distasteful. And I thought that it was going to be a biting commentary on society, and more, it was like 90% about her life and how she doesn't know if she should get married or not, or if she should rent a second house or not. She was saying something like, this is my own personal Hiroshima. She's kind of using the bombing of Hiroshima as, you know, a metaphor for generally things that are like the worst that could happen has happened, but no. If you guys don't know, I moved from Hiroshima, so anything that has to deal with that is very serious, and it's not really made to be, you know, a middle-class woman's comparison, metaphor. It was just a hot mess, kind of, and no one at book club liked it, in fact. But again, I think that possibly we're not the target audience. I think that none of us had actually read Kathy Acker, so you know, I brought that up. I was like, has anyone read Kathy Acker? Like, could you shine any light on this? None of us have. So perhaps it's horribly clever and I just don't understand. Or if you love Kathy Acker, then maybe that kind of writing style, or maybe you might really like it. I don't know. Personally, I did not. Okay, so then the next thing I read was actually a buddy read with a friend of mine, Alyssa, and we read Black Wings Beating by Alex London. This had been one of my most highly anticipated books of 2018. It deals with a fantasy world where people raise falcons, and not only do they raise falcons, it's integral to their society structure. So we're introduced to a set of twins, Bryson and Kylie. Kylie has a natural gift with falcons and wants absolutely nothing to do with them, and Bryson really wants to be great at falconry, yet he just doesn't really have the touch that Kylie does. And one day when Bryson's boyfriend or his love interest gets into some trouble, he decides that he's going to go on this quest to get this, like, basically the biggest, baddest falcon that exists, the biggest bird of prey, because it's said that this bird of prey can win wars. And this is important because in this world there's another society that believes that all the people who worship birds and birds of prey and do falconry and are in this society should pay, and that all birds should be destroyed and that their society should topple. So there's a lot of setup, and there is an adventure, and it was really great. It's great for queer rep, and it was just a lot of the plot I think I could see coming, because I believe it is a YA novel. I think it's going to be either a trilogy or quartet, judging from the pacing of the book, and overall I found it really a pleasant experience, and there are some really great moments where the characters that you hate the whole time, you're just vindicated and you're like, yes. So if you're looking for a great YA fantasy, I would recommend Black Wings Beating. I don't know when the next one comes out, so if you don't like waiting, then maybe wait a bit, and wait a bit if you don't like waiting. But I'm saying, like, if you don't like to read the first one and then not have the next one, maybe wait a bit. So I hope that it comes out in 2019, but I don't know. So the next book I read was Too Hot by Avery Giles. This was kindly sent to me by Riptide Publishing for free review, and it was exactly what I needed at that time. So when they sent this to me, it was right during the move, and honestly, it was so great. So if you guys don't know, when I'm really stressed, I love to read romance, especially queer romance, and this was right up my alley. So we're following Eli, who is a firefighter. So we follow Eli, and one day when he's called to a fire at a school, he runs into Charlie, who has just helped people who are trapped in the building. And he's immediately attracted to Charlie, but Eli feels like Charlie is hiding something, and things go from there. This book was just a really fun read, and there were some things in it that I thought were really, really excellent. There's great Black rep and there's great queer rep, and the other thing that I really, really loved actually was discussion of consent. So this is a romance and there are kind of sexual tension and sex scenes, but they always discussed consent, which is really rare, but it really should not be rare. And I thought that was really great, especially for anyone who is looking to read this book who doesn't yet know that should always be something that you talk about with a partner. So for that, I thought it was amazing. So if you're looking for a really great queer romance read, I do highly recommend it. It's Too Hot by Avery Giles. It was just the perfect time, and it was just so great. So thank you, Riptide Publishing, and I'm sorry that it has taken me so long to get this up. And without further ado, we are to the last book that I read in October and November, and it is Educated by Tara Westover. Tara Westover's father doesn't really believe in the man or organized society or the government, and he's kind of anti-everything. So he doesn't want his kids going to school or wearing seatbelts, and Tara just learns a lot of things that I don't think most of us learn, such as, you know, how to scrap metal and homeopathy, just a lot of things that maybe we would see as other, but that is in fact why it was so intriguing to read this book. And I'll be honest, I only got 65% of the way through and then removed, and I ended up giving this to a friend of mine who really, really wanted to read it. So I guess it's a DNF. It's just one of those books that I think I will never go back and reread it because it's associated with such a stressful time. If you guys have ever had that happen to you, let me know down below, because sometimes it's like you read a book at a great point in your life and it doesn't matter if it's a great book or not, but you will always love that book. Sometimes you read a book at a bad time or a stressful time and it's kind of just, I just don't want to read it again. So unfortunately, Educated by Tara Westover is that book for me. So that wraps up my 4 books that I read in October and November that I wanted to chat to you guys about. Let me know if you guys are planning to read any of them. That would be awesome. I'll leave links to all of them down below so that you can find them if you'd like. And I hope you guys are having an amazing, amazing day. Without further ado, I'm gonna say bye for now. So yeah, toodles!